man must always hide these 8 things from a woman. Imagine a life where you wake up every day with a sense of purpose, inner peace and unshakable confidence, no matter the challenges that come your way. What if you could free yourself from the constant struggle of emotions, insecurities and regrets, and live each day aligned with your true self? What if happiness wasn't something you had to chase, but something you could cultivate from within? Today we're going to explore powerful Stoic principles that will not only transform your mindset, but elevate your entire life. Stay with me, because the journey to true happiness starts right now. Number 1. Emotions of vulnerability. Imagine standing in front of a mirror, gazing at your reflection. What do you see? Is it a person who is constantly tossed by the waves of their emotions? Or is it someone who stands firm, unshaken, no matter the storm around them? We all feel vulnerable at times. It's a part of being human. But here's the truth that many of us overlook. The moment we let our emotions take the lead, we surrender control of our lives. Emotions, when left unchecked, can drag us into a cycle of uncertainty and instability. One minute we're elated, the next we're consumed by fear or sadness. This constant emotional roller coaster can rob us of the happiness we so desperately crave. Now, I'm not telling you to ignore your emotions or bottle them up. That would be a mistake. But there is great wisdom in mastering them. The Stoics believed in the power of emotional restraint, an inner strength that comes from knowing that no matter what the world throws at you, you remain in control. It's not about suppressing vulnerability, it's about understanding when to shield your deepest feelings and when to share them with others. When you allow your emotions to flow unchecked, you open the door to unnecessary drama, confusion, and heartache. But when you choose to guard your emotional state, you protect your peace of mind and ultimately your happiness. A life led by emotional intelligence is one led by wisdom. A life that is steady, fulfilling, and free from the chaos that emotional vulnerability can create. So, ask yourself this: are you willing to take charge of your emotions today? To live with clarity, purpose, and the unwavering belief that you deserve peace? Because the path to true happiness starts with mastering what lies within. Number 2. Insecurity and self-doubt. We all experience moments of insecurity, those nagging doubts about our worth, abilities, or decisions that can make us question everything. It's part of being human. But here's the question you need to ask yourself. How often do you let those doubts control your life? How often do you allow insecurity to dictate your actions, your relationships, and your happiness? Insecurity is like a shadow that follows you everywhere, waiting to remind you of what you lack. But what if I told you that the most powerful people in history, those who lived fulfilled, purposeful lives, didn't allow insecurity to control them? They didn't give in to the fear of not being enough. Instead, they focused on one key principle: self-reliance. The Stoics understood something crucial. True strength comes from within. It doesn't come from external validation, praise, or approval. When you rely on others to confirm your worth, you put your happiness in their hands. This is where insecurity creeps in. If you depend on the world around you to validate your identity, you'll always feel like something is missing. But when you understand your own value, your self-worth, and your purpose, you stand tall. You stop measuring yourself by someone else's standards, and suddenly insecurity fades into the background. This doesn't mean you're immune to doubts, but it means you know how to keep them in check. You begin to see yourself as someone who has the power to shape their own life, their own destiny. Think about it. When was the last time you felt truly secure and confident in yourself? When you stop letting insecurity control your decisions, your life starts to open up. Happiness isn't a distant dream. It's a choice you make every day, rooted in the belief that you are enough, just as you are. Number 3. Ambitions and desires. We all have dreams, ambitions, and desires that push us forward in life. But here's the reality. The more we chase after external achievements and validation, the more we risk losing sight of what truly matters. When our lives become consumed by the pursuit of success, status, or material wealth, we often find ourselves trapped in a cycle of longing and dissatisfaction. The goalposts keep moving, and the happiness we seek always seems just out of reach. This is where the Stoic wisdom offers us a powerful insight. Stoics understood that true contentment does not come from the world around us, but from within. They believed in aligning one's desires with what is truly under our control, our own thoughts, actions, and character. The Stoic teaches us that ambition without balance can lead to frustration, while desires without reflection can lead to discontent. Imagine for a moment, what if your happiness was not tied to the approval of others, or to a job title, or to the house you own? What if you could let go of the endless chase for more and embrace the joy of what you already have? This is not to say that ambition is wrong. It's not. But there's a difference between pursuing something with purpose and letting your desires rule your life. When you shift your focus from external validation to internal fulfillment, you free yourself from the constant pressure to prove your worth. You begin to live a life that is driven by meaningful goals rather than empty desires. You make decisions based on your values, not on the fleeting desire to impress others. Ask yourself, what would happen if you stopped chasing and started living? The pursuit of happiness starts with a clear understanding of what truly matters. Number 4, unfinished thoughts or actions. How many times have you started something with great enthusiasm, only to let it fizzle out halfway? Maybe it was a new project, a personal goal, or a conversation you were eager to have. The excitement of beginning something new can be powerful, but if you don't follow through with intentionality, that initial spark can turn into frustration and regret. This is a pattern many of us fall into, jumping into things without fully thinking them through, only to abandon them when the energy fades. The Stoics offer us a valuable lesson in the importance of deliberate action. They believed that every decision should be grounded in reason and reflection. When we take action without clear thought, we leave ourselves vulnerable to distractions and unnecessary turmoil. In the pursuit of happiness, the Stoic teaches us that every choice we make must align with our values and purpose. To act impulsively is to allow the chaos of life to control us, rather than creating a life of clarity and peace. Think about it. How many times have you acted based on fleeting emotions, without pausing to think if it was truly the right move? Maybe you've found yourself caught in the excitement of a new idea or a fresh ambition, only to realize that you never finished what you started. Or worse, you took action without fully understanding the consequences. This leads to dissatisfaction, confusion, and a sense of lost time. It is not enough to just begin. The true power comes from completing what you've started with discipline, purpose, and commitment. Living a life of happiness means living with intention. It's about giving every thought and action the respect it deserves. The next time you start something, ask yourself, is this decision thoughtful? Is it aligned with my values? When you approach life this way, you'll find greater fulfillment and peace, knowing that every step you take is one of purpose. Number 5, personal failures and regrets. How many times have you found yourself replaying your past mistakes, wishing you could undo them? The weight of failure and regret can be heavy, and if we allow it to consume us, it steals our present peace and our future joy. We all make mistakes, some big, some small, but how we choose to handle them will determine the course of our lives. Here's the truth. Living in regret is like trying to walk forward while looking backward. It's impossible to move toward happiness when your focus is rooted in the past. The Stoics understood this well. They believed in accepting the past, not as a burden to carry, but as a teacher. Failure is not the end. It is the beginning of growth. It's the opportunity to reflect, to adjust, and to rise above the challenges that life throws our way. Think about the times you've stumbled, the moments where you fell short of your expectations or let others down. It's natural to feel the sting of disappointment. But when we dwell on those moments, we allow them to define us. We forget that failure is not our identity. It is simply a part of the journey. True wisdom comes when you learn to look at your mistakes with understanding and compassion, both for yourself and for others. Living a life full of happiness means embracing your imperfections. It means accepting that setbacks are part of the process and that every misstep is an opportunity for growth. The Stoics taught that it is not the mistake that matters, but the wisdom gained from it. Instead of beating yourself up over past failures, ask yourself, what can I learn from this? How can this experience shape me into a stronger, wiser person? By letting go of regret and learning from the past, you free yourself to live with intention and clarity, embracing the future with confidence and peace. Number 6. Uncontrolled passions and desires. We've all experienced moments where our passions and desires seem to take control of us. The craving for success, the urge to indulge, the intense desire for recognition. These emotions can be powerful and they can feel overwhelming. But here's the reality. When we allow our desires to dictate our actions, we lose the very thing that leads to happiness: control over ourselves. Imagine a life where you're driven by impulsive desires, constantly chasing the next thrill, the next achievement, or the next material possession. It sounds exciting at first, but over time it leads to a life that's unstable, unpredictable, and ultimately unfulfilling. The Stoics understood this perfectly. They taught that true happiness comes from within, from mastering your internal world, not from the external things you crave. It's natural to have desires, we all do. But the key to living a wise and happy life is not in suppressing these passions, but in mastering them. Think about it. How often do you make decisions based on fleeting emotions or impulsive desires, only to regret them later? Whether it's overspending, overindulging, or chasing after temporary pleasure, these moments often lead to a feeling of emptiness once the excitement fades. Desires unchecked create chaos, and chaos leads to dissatisfaction. The Stoics believed that a person should live in accordance with reason, not impulse. By cultivating self-discipline, we gain the power to choose what truly serves our well-being, rather than being ruled by momentary cravings. When you understand the difference between fleeting desire and lasting fulfillment, you reclaim your power. You stop living reactively and start living intentionally. Now, ask yourself, are your passions leading you to true happiness, or are they pulling you away from your deeper purpose? By mastering your desires, you step into a life of greater peace, clarity, and fulfillment. One that isn't dependent on fleeting pleasures, but on lasting wisdom and inner strength. Number 7. Financial worries and struggles. Money. It's one of the most talked about aspects of life, and yet it's also one of the most stress-inducing. Financial struggles are a reality for many, and the weight of financial insecurity can feel overwhelming. But here's the truth. Your happiness should not be determined by your bank balance. Yes, money plays a role in securing comfort and opportunity, but when we let financial worries dominate our thoughts, we sacrifice peace of mind and the ability to truly enjoy life. Think about the last time you felt anxious about money. Perhaps it was the stress of bills piling up, the uncertainty of the future, or the pressure to keep up with others. When financial worries consume us, we lose sight of what truly matters: our well-being, our relationships, and our ability to find joy in the present moment. The Stoics offer us a powerful perspective here. They believed that external circumstances like money, status, or material possessions are not the source of true happiness. Instead, happiness comes from cultivating an inner sense of peace and self-sufficiency. We cannot control every external factor, but we can control our response to them. By focusing on what we can control, our thoughts, actions, and values, we free ourselves from the burden of financial stress and find stability in the midst of uncertainty. Imagine for a moment, what if you could approach financial difficulties with calm and rationality rather than anxiety and fear? The Stoic mindset teaches us to view challenges as opportunities to grow stronger, to embrace our responsibility to manage what we have wisely, and to focus on the aspects of life that bring true joy, not just temporary relief. Money is important, but it should never become the center of your life. When you release the grip of financial worries, you create the space to cultivate lasting happiness. Number 8. Internal struggles and conflicts. We all experience moments of inner turmoil, the battles between what we want and what we know is right, the tension between our desires and our values. These internal conflicts are a part of life, but they can become overwhelming if we let them define us. How often do you find yourself torn between conflicting thoughts, unsure of which path to take? This constant tug-of-war can lead to stress, confusion, and ultimately, a lack of peace. The Stoics understood this struggle well. They believed that true happiness comes not from external circumstances, but from mastering the internal world. We cannot control every situation we encounter, but we have the power to shape our reactions. By acknowledging our internal conflicts and addressing them with reason, we take the first step toward clarity and peace. Think for a moment about the last time you felt deeply conflicted. Perhaps it was over a decision, a relationship, or even a personal goal. When you dwell too long in this internal struggle, it consumes your mental energy and leaves little room for happiness. The key to peace lies in confronting these conflicts with a calm, clear mind. When we address our inner struggles, we find the strength to make decisions that align with our true selves, and in doing so, we reclaim our happiness. Imagine living a life where your internal world is in harmony, where you are not constantly battling with yourself, but instead moving forward with confidence, purpose, and clarity. This kind of peace does not come from avoiding conflict. It comes from facing it head-on and using reason to guide your way. The Stoics taught that every internal struggle is an opportunity for growth, a chance to refine your character and move closer to the person you were meant to be. Are you ready to conquer your inner battles and experience the happiness that comes with peace of mind? The path to happiness begins by mastering what lies within. The path to true happiness is rooted in wisdom, self-discipline, and the mastery of one's inner world. By controlling emotions, embracing growth from failure, and aligning actions with purpose, we reclaim peace and clarity in our lives. Life's challenges will come, but with a Stoic mindset we are empowered to navigate them with strength and grace. As you move forward, remember that happiness is not a destination. It is a choice we make every day. Thank you for your attention, and good luck on your journey toward a life filled with wisdom, fulfillment, and lasting happiness.